Have you ever clung to a belief so deeply that it defined your entire world, only to watch reality tear it apart piece by piece? In the spring of 1945, as the Pacific War raged into its final brutal chapter, Emperor Hirohito sat at the center of an empire built on the myth of divine invincibility. Revered as a living god, descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu, he embodied Japan's unbreakable spirit. Yet beneath the serene facade of the imperial palace in Tokyo, doubt began to creep in like smoke from distant fires. The year began with ominous signs. American forces, having island-hopped across the Pacific, launched their assault on Iwo Jima in February. This tiny volcanic speck, just 8 square miles, became a slaughterhouse. Japanese defenders, dug into caves and tunnels, fought with fanatical resolve under General Tadamichi Kuribayashi. For over a month, they repelled wave after wave of U.S. Marines. The cost was staggering: over 20,000 Japanese dead, nearly all defenders, and 26,000 American casualties, including 6,800 killed. Iconic images captured the moment Marines raised the American flag atop Mount Suribachi, a symbol of inexorable advance. en.wikipedia.org marineparents.com. Hirohito received the reports in silence, surrounded by his war council. Generals spoke of heroic stands, of buying time for the homeland defense. But the emperor, a quiet man passionate about marine biology and peacetime, pondered the human toll. Japan's early conquests, Pearl Harbor, Singapore, the Philippines, now seemed distant dreams. The navy was shattered at Leyte Gulf, carriers sunk, pilots lost. Resources dwindled, oil supplies choked by American submarines. Then came Okinawa in April, the largest amphibious assault of the Pacific Theater. Over 180,000 Allied troops stormed the beaches against 100,000 entrenched Japanese. Civilians caught in the crossfire suffered horribly, many coerced into mass suicides rather than surrender. Kamikaze pilots dove into ships, sinking dozens but failing to halt the invasion. By June, Okinawa fell. Japan lost another 100,000 soldiers, plus tens of thousands of civilians. American casualties topped 50,000, hardening resolve for the invasion of Japan itself. Operation Downfall, projected to cost millions of lives. en.wikipedia.org britannica.com. In Tokyo, the contrast was stark. Cherry blossoms bloomed in imperial gardens while air raid sirens wailed. Propaganda broadcasts proclaimed eternal victory, citizens drilled with bamboo spears for the expected invasion. But Hirohito's inner world crumbled. Advisors like Lord Privy Seal Marquis Koichi Kido urged caution, whispering of peace overtures through neutral nations. Hardline militarists, led by Army Minister Korechika Anami, demanded fight to the death, 100 million dying as shattered jewels. The emperor wrestled privately. Many leaders never admit what's holding them back. Blind pride rooted in tradition. Hirohito feared betraying ancestors, dishonouring the Kokutai, national polity centered on his divinity. Yet reports of starving children, depleted arsenals, and lost islands gnawed at him. He sought wisdom in ancient texts, pondered secret diplomatic channels via the Soviets. Foreign Minister Shigenori Togo pushed for ending the war, but fanatics blocked progress. Meanwhile, the American bombardment intensified. Under General Curtis LeMay, B-29 Superfortresses shifted to low-altitude night raids with incendiaries. On March 9 to 10, over 300 bombers struck Tokyo in Operation Meeting House. Firestorms engulfed wooden neighborhoods, temperatures soaring to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Over 100,000 died in one night, more than many battles, with 1 million homeless. Hirohito toured devastated areas, his face impassive but heart heavy. Britannica.com/n.wikipedia.org warfarehistorynetwork.com. Raids continued on Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, 67 cities scorched. Japan's air defenses crumbled, fighters lacked fuel, pilots experience. The emperor's struggle deepened: continue for honor, or seek terms to save lives. Pride whispered defiance, reality screamed surrender. As summer approached, the storm gathered strength, poised to break. What happens when the unbreakable finally shatters? In August 1945, Emperor Hirohito faced the abyss as American might unleashed its ultimate weapon, forcing a reckoning with pride's deadly cost. The journey from denial to acceptance would end a war and redefine a nation. July brought the Potsdam Declaration. Allies demanded unconditional surrender or prompt and utter destruction. Japan dithered. Hardliners hoped for Soviet mediation, ignoring Stalin's impending betrayal. Hirohito, in rare meetings, leaned toward peace but deferred to consensus. Advisors debated fiercely in stuffy palace rooms, maps strewn with red markers of lost territories. AmericanHeritage.com. Then, on August 6, a single B-29 named Enola Gay dropped Little Boy over Hiroshima. In a flash brighter than the sun, the city vanished. 80,000 died instantly, tens of thousands more from burns and radiation. Survivors described shadows etched into walls, people vaporized mid-step. Reports reached Tokyo fragmented, then horrifyingly clear, a new bomb, atomic, with power beyond imagination. Hirohito demanded details, his voice steady but eyes betraying shock. Generals downplayed, America might have only one. But the emperor sensed truth, no defense existed. 3 days later, August 9, Fat Man obliterated Nagasaki, killing 40,000 more. That same day, the Soviet Union declared war, invading Manchuria and crushing the Kwantung Army. The turning point arrived. In emergency conferences, deadlock persisted until Hirohito intervened, unprecedented for the sacred decision. He spoke of enduring the unendurable, accepting Potsdam terms to preserve the nation's essence. Pride yielded to mercy. Continued fighting meant annihilation. nytimes.com. The lesson crystallized. Clinging to myths of divine superiority invited catastrophe. True leadership protected people, not face. Humility before overwhelming reality enabled survival and rebirth. Emotionally, it resonated deeply. War's futility, shared human vulnerability. Transformation followed swiftly. On August 14, Hirohito recorded his rescript in the palace, voice trembling through archaic language. Guards protected the discs from coup attempts by diehards. At noon on August 15, millions gathered around radios, hearing their God Emperor speak for the first time. We have resolved to pave the way for a grand peace for all generations by enduring the unendurable and suffering what is unsufferable. Silence fell across Japan, then tears. Soldiers wept, civilians bowed in grief and relief. Commons.wikimedia.org. Hirohito changed profoundly. Once isolated in divine detachment, he now acted decisively for humanity. Japan surrendered formally on September 2 aboard USS Missouri. The emperor remained, later renouncing divinity in 1946, guiding peaceful reconstruction. This story reminds us, facing painful truths, releasing pride, leads to renewal. In our lives, what illusions hold us back? Reflect on this history. Humility saves, defiance destroys. If moved, share this tale of hard-won peace.